Hello and welcome to today's live stream. We're gonna have another look at 11 Second Club entries, this time for the month June of 2018. It's now July. We're looking back at the contest entries from last month, of course. And yeah, we're gonna learn a lot from what people did in their animation. We're gonna learn from people's mistakes, or we're also gonna get inspired by the amazing ideas that some people had. In case you don't know what the 11 Second Club is, it's a website where there's a monthly competition where they give you a 11 second club, an 11-second sound snippet from a television show or a feature film. Usually it's so obscure that you don't really know what it's from, and that inspires a lot of people to come up with some completely new context or some fun ideas to create a fantastic performance. And then people from all over the world can animate to this and submit it, and everybody can vote on it, which is what we are doing today. And last month's sound clip was a little bit special because it was from a very famous Netflix series from Stranger Things. Personally, I always think it is very difficult if you know the source, because first of all, you're tempted to look up the source, or you still remember it. And that makes it very difficult to step away and to come up with a completely new context or completely new performance ideas. But you know, sometimes it's also not bad if you look at the original. Maybe we do that today. Maybe in a little bit we also have a look at the film scene. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Beautiful posters on the wall. Yeah, I try to put more animation related stuff up back there. Yeah, it's 4th of July, so a lot of people are probably celebrating. Really cool. It's great to get candy thrown at you. But yeah, we're gonna celebrate animation here right now. And I would say we should just jump in with the first entry. Let me bring it up, and let me also bring up my handy dandy pencil so I can occasionally draw into the frames. And maybe a whiteboard so we can write some stuff down occasionally. Oh, this month's audio is pretty good too. Shall we listen to it? So this month's audio, and this is also an audio test right now, so tell me if you can hear this.
Maryland?
What's there?
I mean, I don't know. Evil lair?
Evil lair?
Dude, a gang with alien guns run by a guy with wings? Yeah, they have a lair.
Badass.
Okay, that's also pretty nice. Also from a recent film. So yeah, I think this is probably also gonna inspire some awesome stuff. But let's look at the entries from June. Right here, the first one. Okay, let's get started.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Oh dear, there's a lot of stuff just shifting around, not following real body mechanics. Yeah, BJ, today I'm not doing shots. I was pretty drunk after the last time we did a shot whenever a controller was stuck in the air, and this is happening a lot here too. There are a couple things to talk about that we will probably get into less as we will go on. First of all, the settings. A lot of people probably choose this setting because the original is actually set in a school. So this is just, you know, taking what it originally was and using it again, which makes it very difficult because then you have to make it especially good. I like that this person was challenging him or herself. Like, putting stuff into hands in 3D can sometimes be very tricky. I also like the details, like the potion making.
Parties of democracy.
And what is that? Tree Wizard Tragedies.
Majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick or
So yeah,
treating
it's
with
nice
you.
details.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, so
Full-size candy.
the biggest no-no here is that the hips and the shoulders are kind of like, you know, like a unit that does stuff together. They don't do stuff at the same time, but they react to each other. If I shift over my body, you know, I could start that with the hip, like slide my hip over, and then the body follows. Like, there's a connection there. But what I can't do, I mean, maybe in a weird dance, I could just shift my shoulders around, but you know, that's nothing that we usually do. Like, those motions are very wrong. And then there's also no deciding here. Like, what kind of poses are these? Like, he was leaned against the thing, then he's getting up, but the hip is going left. Like, if I would animate this, what I would recommend people to do, well, first of all, plan out your poses. Like, think about that first you want to have a pose that is here, and then plan for a second pose to be like this. And then you just, you know, you have to stick to what you planned. You move the hip over like that, and then you, like, maybe with a slight delay, you move the shoulder over, and then you keep it there for a while. And if you really want to return to the other pose, then you can do that. But you can certainly not do this and that with the hip and then go back to that pose while the shoulder is just staying here. That doesn't work. So yeah, that's how I would try to avoid this. I think in general this person needs to stick to poses more. Then something that happens a lot if you stick something to a hand like this is actually something that can be a very subtle mistake in a better animation. Like, let's put everything else aside and just learn from that what we could use if we already were a little bit better. If you do that, if you animate a constraint, can I go frame by frame here? Anyway, you can see how the hand is there and then the book snaps into place. Like, this would be something that you would try to avoid if you work with constraints in that way. And then also it feels like there's just no weight in the hand. You see how it's just stuck there, and the rotation isn't right. And while she's talking, the hand keeps rotating. Here, it's just not right. So better planning next time will be really a benefit this animation. Yeah, okay, let's start out. Like, I do like that this person was challenging themselves so much, but it does lack fundamentals. Okay, arrow keys should go frame by frame, but it starts playing if I hit the arrow keys. Oh well, we're gonna make the best out of it.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, interesting choice in character rigs.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I absolutely love...
I mean, we know where to get the...
love that pose, and that this little jingle in the sound was used for the teeth sparkle. That's a really cool idea. Yeah, it does look like an animation mentor, Rick, doesn't it? Personally, I'm always a big friend of like really dedicating to poses, because I think doing stuff like wiggling back and forth, it's one of the hardest things to do because it really quickly feels unfocused. And I think it feels a little unfocused, or a lot unfocused here. Like what I like to see in dialogue shots if characters like stress words and stress moments of what they have to say with a gesture. And if you have like a wobbling gesture like this, you miss all that opportunity to really craft a performance with great poses. Let's listen to that again.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't
And I feel like the most interesting moment is cut away. Like, our party's a democracy. The majority voted you could come. Like the offer that do you want to come? Like, that pose that I would find the most interesting is just cut off. And as I said, I'm a big fan of, our party is a democracy, and the majority voted you could come. Like, you have like certain snippets, certain moments that weren't a pose.
realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That was a good pose. I figured you want in. Puts the bucket out.
That's presumptuous of you.
And the basic idea here is pretty good too.
Presumptuous of you. That's presumptuous of you.
And then,
That's presumptuous of you.
A weight shift? Personally, I like weight shifts that actually dip after they shift.
That's presumptuous of you.
our party's a democracy.
Presumptuous of you.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I like it if the weight shifts like go like this. Whoop. That you have some actual, weight that's settling down. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see some more focus on poses here.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, that was a whole scene setup. I like that. That there's actually, you can feel a situation, a story around here. That's a good idea. Establishing shot. Coming in.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
It's a nice idea with the cape. What I kind of wish, I feel like a lot of the time all poses are settling at the same time. Like, you can see how, you have a little bit of an overlap because the cape takes a little bit longer, but what I like to see in 2D animation generally is just one frame where or two or three if you have the time to do it, but one already can make a huge difference, where one hand, for example, could already be in place, and the other one could be overshooting and coming back, like in the next frame. Like, this is something that makes it so much more interesting. Then I think there are too many poses in there, and sometimes it can be a lot stronger if you just dedicate to 2 or 3 of your strongest poses. Yeah, for example, Okay, you have that pose, and that pose. Like you have 3 poses that are like that. You have to kick at least one of them out, or even just keep only one pose like this. The problem is also if you do that, if you do a lot of switch around like this, you weaken the next pose, you weaken the next big change, and you sometimes want the big change to, you know, indicate something big is coming here. So yeah, just this, and then the point would have been sufficient. Yeah, it's too many poses. Let's see what poses should we keep. Now, first of all, I would avoid this pose. Why can I not go frame by frame? That's really annoying. Okay, but you know what pose I mean, right? That one. I would kick that out because I already used it, and it's a twinning. I kind of like that pointing to himself, and then you don't need that one, which is also a cliche pose. Yeah, that pointing to himself. And yeah, and then that one. So we reduced like 5 poses to 3. I feel like the woman could be even meaner, the big sister, or what she is. And then I do see that the person was making construction lines, but sometimes it feels... the turn. I think we don't have the time to get into that, but yeah, you get the main idea. But I do like the intro and everything, and yeah, let's go with decent.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
This looks like it's actually done with action figures, with real action figures, which is pretty difficult because, you know, action figures are not really made for this. They're not really made to be animated in that way and to stand still like that. Wow, this is just so cool for how it is made.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
And I feel like for the acting, what's really nice that he... First of all, the idea to take those characters is really great and already giving you humorous contrast. I do like this gesture. Like, this person knows when a pose is more important, like the snap. Like, that's really, really cool. I feel like in total there are a bit too many poses. Once again, I like that he's sometimes shying away like that, and that she has those broader, more powerful gestures. Wow. And there are all these nice arcs. You see that in the hand movements and his... like how he is opening the hand. Like, he is actually, there's a nice overlap there. He's positioning the lower arm, and then the hand is doing this, is still coming over, which is really nice. It's wonderful for stop motion. I think this person could have saved some work by not doing some of the poses, but yeah, respectable. I don't know if I could animate like that with action figures. Like, let's give it a good. People are harsh enough here. Oh my. What?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. It's the chicken nuggets again. Oh, we have to watch that again, I think.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah. It's just fun. That's what it is. If I could nitpick, like, I know what kind of style it is. I know that we can't make it like a Disney feature film level quality animation. But I think what even like South Park style animation can benefit from a lot is if you have more breakdowns. And by more, I mean just one can sometimes make a huge difference. Like when she is jumping, she's just kind of gliding off, which I think is a missed opportunity, and to give that to create a more interesting motion, like to have her jump up and down like this while the flag is going in another arc, maybe like this. That could be interesting. And that could be a nice touch. Or if also the guy, like when he's going out of frame, like he could also like make a short little jump and then go. I know that is difficult in stop motion because you have to hold them up with a rig, or a string or like a stick or whatever. But I think it can make a huge difference if you have more interesting breakdowns like that. Okay. Yeah, the Nugget guy was submitting something last time too. Which was even more I mean, this is pretty random too. All right. Yeah, respectable. I respect this. Like, did he do that because of 4th of July? Okay. Let's leave it with that. Let's have a look at the next one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Floating stuff going on here.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
And
Our party's a democracy, and the majority...
and jiggery stuff here that there's no arc. There's no arc, no clear breakdown here. Oh. So a little too... Yeah, there's no arc. There's no, like, the spacing should be actually... There should be an ease in... And then there should be an ease... Well, this is the ease in, and this is the ease out. And it should follow a bow, and it should have a lot, like the poses should be more thought out. I feel like a lot of 3D animator that start out, they jump right into the program. They jump right into making this. And I think you can benefit so much by just taking a little piece of paper and start scribbling little ideas what the poses could be and how the poses could progress. And then everything is stiff, like it's just, straight here, and there's just no flow, there's no natural feeling in here. And that is difficult because in 3D everything is stiff. You have a relatively stiff puppet that you just move piece by piece by piece by piece. So you need to put a lot of work in to get a nice kind of flow. Like if I would have to animate that scene,
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
And there's like a huge missed opportunity. They are holding those bags, but he's not really using it for acting.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go...
And by the way, it's also very weird to just hold something like that. Like you either have it like close to the body, but then you would probably have it lower. That's why the person brought it up so far. But you need to think that everything has a weight, especially our own limbs. And we humans, we are lazy. We rest our limbs as much as possible. Lobby the cartoonist says, I think that's done to help with clarity, because the character facing dead on at this angle would leave us with them just flat on from a side view. What do you mean exactly? The camera choice? To just have the side view? Yeah, that's also probably not the smartest thing to do. Sometimes a side view can be very powerful. Like if you have two characters not really connecting with each other, or like there's like a wall for the audience, you can use a side view to do very powerful stuff. But you're right, this is not an example for that. Oh, they're not facing each other. Yeah, that's
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I even didn't see the cut-in.
It was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars.
Yeah, that cut-in, that's also something that you should avoid. So, oh my, where do we start? Do we do poses first, or do we do camera first? Maybe camera first, because when you have the camera, you can start building your poses into that. Like if you say that you like it, that you introduce the characters facing each other like that, then you definitely can't cut in like that. If you cut in, you really need to do like a substantial amount of frame like this. And usually what's always a good advice to do is to change the camera angle. So if you look at the scene from the top and the camera was here, like it's like nobody in Hollywood does that. If they do a close-up, they don't just take the camera and move it closer. Like nobody does that. What they do is they also change the angle. And there's quite a lot you can change. Like if you say like our first view, it could be slightly from above. Slightly from above to close in on them a little. And then when we cut, that's the mummy guy. And then when we cut, we could also change the horizon to be a lot lower or not visible at all. I mean, maybe it wouldn't make sense to give him that much power. Maybe it would make more sense to show him from slightly above to show how insecure he is. But yeah, that's what I mean. You can change that angle of the camera. You can change that one. You can change the height from which the camera is looking. Well, I intentionally didn't mention over the shoulder shot because that's the most boring thing that you can do. I mean, it is done a lot, and this situation kind of calls for an over the shoulder shot. But yeah. And you can think about how close is the other person. Like, do we really see the shoulder? Do we just see the face a little unsharp or something like this? Do we use another element from the other side to close in the character? There are a lot of possibilities that we can do. Okay, so that about the camera angles. Now about the poses. Like if I would animate this, first of all, you need to be clear about the attitudes. Like if you decided that the person is shy, then you need to build your poses around that. Then you need to think about, okay, a shy person would probably pull up the shoulders and hide himself behind his candy bag. Like, then you can actually pull up the sack so much. And then maybe when he is gesturing, maybe make the arc even stronger. And then maybe when he's gesturing, he's like letting the bag go a little bit. Like, you need to think about with contrasts like this. Like, if he's a little hunched over at first, you can make him in the next one, you can make him a little less hunched over. The poses need to get connected, but you can still play around with contrast, and then all this good stuff like creating a good silhouette. Like, this is probably not even a good silhouette, like something like this would be a lot better. But to do that, you need to put in the work and do those thumbnails. And only then you really put, oh yeah, Slowby the cartoonist says, only if you create poses like that, we can really feel the emotions. It is difficult because there is something in the voice. There's so much in the voice going on. But if we just look at the poses, we can see that there's a lot. Like, this is just robotic. This is just a default pose. And that is a little creepy. The hand gesture, and it's just floating into each other. And yeah, we have a video on this YouTube channel about floaty motions. For anybody who's interested in that, just Google that or search that on YouTube, Floaty Motions Animator Island. We have a whole video about that. Okay, but let's go on. We have a lot to do. Yeah, the third guy is kind of weird, isn't it? What is he doing there? Like, yeah. Like, he's so contempt. Like, I brought those two together. It's going well. I don't know.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Mm-hmm. Here, somebody was really trying to put in attitude and emotion.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't...
Okay. Let's focus on this guy first. Okay. Is it really hitting democracy when he does...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't...
It also feels a lot too busy, but it's only two poses. I think I wouldn't have the overshoot so much. Like, I wouldn't have it like this. I would have it more like, a party's a democracy. A party's a democracy. Like, have it on the point and not over the point. And if you want to have an overshoot, maybe just lightly. Just lightly. So... Oh yeah, I think I know why. Because this overshoot is taking so much attention, and it's taking a lot of attention away from the face. Yeah, we barely notice the face because the whole hand stuff is distracting us, which is not always a bad thing. Yeah, Vijay says, I like how his hand and head stop moving at different times. Yeah, that's what we had earlier, right? About the overlap. You should probably still have a little bit going on here. Sometimes in 3D, there's also the danger of that the fingers reach, like the hand reached its position, and then the fingers were still here. And if you then animate the fingers go down with an ease, you know, which would look like this in a timing chart. If you do this, then by doing this ease, you're giving away that your fingers weren't doing anything, because they just now picking up speed. Like they reach this position and then they pick up speed and open. Do you understand what I mean? So the fingers need to start opening a little earlier, actually here. You know, when the arm down here is already coming to a stop. You know, if while the ease is happening, the other part already starts overlapping. If you want to know more about this, I actually made a very extensive tutorial about this on Animator Island. I have to show you real quick. First of all, we have a very extensive beginner tutorial on Animator Island. If you want to relearn the basics, or you know somebody who is just starting out to learn animation, please go to animatorisland.com. It's the first thing that you see right here is an extensive beginner tutorial. And then we also have a premium bonus exercise. And in the premium bonus exercise, I show how to animate these overlap and follow through chains, and how you have to think about when one element is coming to a stop and one element is flipping over and all these things. So if you want to dive deeper into that, how these structures actually work and how motion is passed on from one chain element to another, this is done very intensively in this premium tutorial, and $19 is also, come, you can afford that. But yeah, this is something very important. I feel like that a lot of people don't get right in the beginning, that these chains actually, you know, while one element is slowing down, the other one already started flipping over. I think that is the takeaway here. Then I feel like people do stuff with the hat, but it's always like, come on, if you're dedicating to this angle, like do it right. Like really push the whole head over like that. Like a lot of the times people just hover, like the neck is always like kind of straight. It may be going a little bit to here and a little bit to here, but nobody is trying, like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can make so much more stronger poses when you just tilt things a little more. Just try it. You can always tune it back again. So what is going on in the chat? You're having little side conversations? You're not listening? Yeah, sure, you guys can post links in the chat. No problem. Share each other's portfolios and animations. I don't mind. I do like the sarcasm in her pose. Like, still, there is no big change from here to here. Like, her body in this pose is basically the same in that pose, and I think you need to alter that at least a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. Be just like, oh, like at first you're just listening, like, what is he saying? And then, oh, I didn't realize it was such an honor. Like, maybe also build up the distance. Like, she's kind of like, oh, I'm leaning away from you. I don't really want to have anything to do with you. Like, use the body to communicate, the lean of the body. You're listening. Wonderful. Okay, everybody. I think we spent enough time with this one. it's a good framework. It's a good way to start, but it would need a lot of refinement.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
There was overlaps in this one, all right, like here, but it's all very mechanic and very like coming to a stop, then the camera is turning, and this camera turning thing, a lot of 3D beginners do that, and at Pixar they do that very, very rarely. Although Pixar does 3D movies, they have a camera like everybody else, and they can move that camera around. But for example, at Pixar, they make the rule that they don't make camera movements that can't be done in real life. And they always think about like, if we would make a camera movement here, how would the tracks go? How would the camera crane work and stuff like this? So they put a lot of effort and thoughts into that. And I think you could just have done a cut here. And sometimes people do that to distract from their animation. Like, they might not do that intentionally. They just realize, okay, if I have the camera motion, it looks better. And it's a linear motion, I think. There's no ease. Yeah, it just stops. And I think, like, there's just no weight. How his hand is flipping over. Like, when would you do that? Like, if you have your hand up, you would turn it, but not like a big, like this. You would drop your wrist. Your hand would be leading the motion, and you would have an arc, but the arc would mostly be your hand turning. See that? Just your hand, not the whole arm. Yeah, broken, I don't know, but it's just like one unit. Okay. I'm always so, like, it feels so mean to give like a poor lack of fundamentals. I already have to applaud these people for just doing it. You know, this is the only way to get better. And of course, at the beginning, you're not gonna be that good at it. And I really don't want to discourage people. Like, just see it as, I hope I gave you some tips of what you could improve. And I really have to say it's a great thing that you guys are doing this at all. And I can only encourage every new person to take part in the competitions. So don't get discouraged.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
So, again here, a camera movement. I guess to make it look like this is a documentary, like a handheld camera, but I feel like even for a handheld camera, it's moving a lot. And then that makes it a little difficult to judge the motion. What I really do like is how her lips tighten, like stuff like that. That is very nice. I'm not sure if you need to do it 2 times, like I like how she's pulling them up and then she's dropping them and pulling them up again. Like, that is a little too much. And then I'm not sure how clear I can read her attitude. I mean, she does seem to have genuine interest, and then it all of a sudden goes into this rejecting him position. Which I don't know if he didn't do anything that warrants this shift. I feel like if you do that, she needs to be already a little skeptic in this one. And then this, I don't know why are you coming so close with the camera? And yeah, the pupils clip through the eyelids. That is pretty creepy, but And my personal pet peeve always is the straight shoulders in 3D. Like, this person actually lifted the shoulders, which I think is nice. But, you know, then the shoulders are always so damn straight. Like, do more with that. Like, is she interested in him? Then lean a little forward. Is she opposed to him? Then lean a little backwards. Like, that already, like, just think about, is the character interested or disinterested? And put that into your pose. And only do a straight pose if you have a reason. Like, even I'm sitting a little crooked. Maybe that's just my bad posture, I don't know. But, yeah. Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Whoa, okay. Pretty big challenge here. First of all, they start out walking. Like, usually when I see that in the 11-second club, we get bad floaty walks. This is actually quite decent. There might be some in that leg. It swivels a little back and forth. I'm not sure. Maybe I would like to take that out. I mean, it does make a nice little impact here. But yeah. And then coming to a stop with a weight shift. Really nice. And she also... And she has a different walk. She's also, like, the impact in that is pretty harsh. Here. On the first step. But yeah, this is already nitpicking. I like how the shoulders shift. Shoulder shift. And that is really nice. And that flirty tone actually really really works with the voice. I like how if you just hear the voice, it's a little ambiguous if they are flirting or if, you know, if she's just sarcastic, like completely opposed. If you watch the scene in the film, it's a lot more clear that she doesn't want to come, I feel like. But this really brought out the flirty element in the voice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
To nitpick a little more, like, I wonder if that is a little too slow. Like, there's like this little dent in the curve up here. I wonder if I would make it a little faster without that dent here. Do you see that? It's kind of like, it's a little like this. And I wonder if it would be better if it's just, you know, just going straight down in a bow. And then I feel like his gesture here is also not the strongest it could be. It's not bad.
And the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come. Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I feel like this hand is not stressing anything in particular. Party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come. Like, I would, like, tie it to some words more. But yeah, overall, good. Yeah, the playful hair flip at the end is pretty strong, really nice. Okay, bye, BJ.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean,
And what makes it strong is like how he keeps acting. Like he keeps looking in love at her and smiling more when she's coming forward. Like they are playing off each other. They are reacting to each other. It's really nice. And the shrug. Okay.
our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
What? Yeah, so it's all going far too fast. I think we're it's really hard to see the beginning that he's getting a toothache. I like the creativity and the idea, but you see there's far too many poses. You need to dedicate to just a couple. And what I do like is that like the attitude is pretty clear. Like if there's actually a moment to see the attitude on the characters, then yeah, this is nice. But you really don't see what's going on with the vampire and the toothache and but it's fun.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such a...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't...
I feel like I feel like a lot. Is that possible? Again, like try to strengthen like hip motion, hip like that, shoulder like that, face like this. Maybe we could make the more interesting. And then have a more or less long and relaxed arm here and a higher up one like here. Like push everything a little more, I think. Could be really nice. Timing wise, I think this was okay. Again with the stance, like I don't know if I would use the exact same stance twice. Like there's so many interesting things that you can do. Like maybe he could now be a little wider and confident. Again, maybe now lean forward. Was sagt er? What is he saying in that moment?
It's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
You could come.
You could come. And the majority voted you could come.
So maybe a more inviting gesture? Like that? Maybe? Maybe like this, if you like a pose where the two arms do the same thing. I don't know. Like I feel like the pose could have been refined more. And personally, I would have to do a lot of scribbling like this first too. Like I would do that before I jump into the animation. And there is somebody called Facebook live streaming asking this type of creating video. What do you mean? 3D animation? Well, if you want to do 3D animation, I already told the others on animatorisland.com. We have this animation tutorial for beginners And if you just go to animatorisland.com, you can click on that and start learning animation for free in Blender. It starts with the very, very basics at first, but if you know the basics, you're gonna get better and better and better, and then you can do amazing character animation and have a lot more control over it. Thank you, Lovey the Cartoonist. This whole stream is extremely inspiring. I gotta try animating some dialogue later. Yeah. Sure, if I get people to animate, I'm more than happy. That is my goal, to spread the joy of animation. As I said, not to discourage people. I think what we're seeing here, we have an animation that is extremely good at the timing is decent, there's overlap and follow through. That is pretty good, but the poses could be stronger. I mean, I like this pose. It's a great idea to have him to have that one leg up on a different stone. That makes it feel very grounded, very in the scenery. And I do like that moment. And how the sword is, you see that? How it's hitting the rock. Like, things like that make the world feel more tangible. I'm not sure if the hip has enough weight. If I would make the sitting up a little longer. But no, I'm already nitpicking. It's pretty decent. Pretty good. As I said, push the poses a little and you're good. Really good. Okay, Facebook streaming asked which website. Let me copy the link for you. Here, this is this link for our beginner tutorial. Okay, next one, I guess.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Again, a bit restless. I do like that the attitude is, I think,
Our party
is gone. Is just the picture frozen, or does anything else happen? Like a short little text notice or something like that. Need to look how to set that up. Okay. All right. Not sure how much you saw of that one, but
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
there's just so much going on. Like, there's one post after the other, like clockwork, and there's no like interesting rhythm. And this character is constantly taking away from that other character. Like, if you want people to focus on the one who's talking, then you need to make the other one a little more still. Like, you can have little reactions like like little things like that, but you cannot be like, especially if it's not adding much to the story, you need to be very careful with that. Okay, let's see where the chat is. Yeah, they're doing a lot at the same time. That's very overwhelming indeed. But yeah, it does know the fundamentals.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick or
And again, like, there's no point. Like, the majority voted you could come. Like, that could be a point, and then stay there. And then, you know, leave it with that.
And the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with.
But, like, to say the majority voted you could come, and then immediately another pose nullifies your first pose, makes your first pose really weak. Okay, let's go to the next animation.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, nice scenery. And to have the characters dressed like that, like that's how you do a costume, like that mummy we saw earlier. No, it's all good. But yeah.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Now this is an instance where the walk is almost bothering me. Like the walk we saw earlier felt like it belongs to the scene. And this one is just like, I don't know.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't
Like, it feels like they're, I don't know, maybe I could have nitpicked that with the other one too, but like that he is so, he's like behind. I guess that makes a more interesting composition. I guess I tried to decipher the story behind it, and because there are so many story hints here, I'm not quite sure what the story is.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't
But she does seem very much annoyed by him. Like that is a cool attitude. It's going throughout the whole thing. That's a good cut, by the way. It's changing the camera angle. We talked about that earlier. I would probably cut that left, right, left thing. Or what is it exactly? He's coming from the right to the left, going back to the right, and going back to the left, and then kind of going back again. I think I would commit to one or two instances of that.
Full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in. Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars.
We always get the full-size candy bars. We figured you wanted in. Let's get the full-size candy bars. We figured you wanted in. You know, to have those most important points hit the body motions. But overall, pretty good.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Very stiff poses. They all are kind of straight.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, what kind of motion is that? It's just dropping, like, it's not even picking up much speed. It's just immediately full speed and then down here and overshooting. Like, the knowledge of the basics is here, obviously. The person thought about, okay, then it has to overshoot and then come back down here. But this is just too fast, too quickly. And then not dedicating to a pose right. And there is this moment where the hand is like this. When do you hold your hand like that? Like when do you make, I can't even do it. When do you have this? You only have this ever in motion. Like you're either on the way to open your hand or to close it, or you have it kind of relaxed like that. But to have them flipped over like this is, I think, very unnatural. But yeah, I feel like basic knowledge of this person heard about the fundamentals and tried to put in the fundamentals. It's definitely on the way to get it. Interesting to see.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Like, this also is not much of a movie like, you wouldn't shoot a movie like this. And it feels like he's far too away from her for, like, the dialogue feels like he's in the middle of a conversation, but here's like he's far away. And then he goes out of the picture again. I do kind of think I think it's interesting character designs, as crude as they are. But yeah, this person needs to think a little more filmic. Even in this crude style, I think it could benefit a lot if you have a feeling like of distances between characters. And I do like that he's playing with distances. You know, I feel like he could go around her and she has to follow him, but I would never make him go completely out of frame. And then solve the rest with a cut to feel it a little more intimate and a little more connected. Yeah. We need to pick up speed, so I'm gonna go to the
Our
next
party's a
one.
democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority... Our party's a democracy.
Okay. Again, there's no pose really settling. Like, it's all kind of wobbling on. Like, I don't know what the finished pose is supposed to be. Like, I do like the idea in general that he's leaning into her, going into her personal space. Like, that's a great gesture. But again, I feel like you need to, you know, maybe show how it is starting, and then have a second pose that you really let sink in. I mean, this is really intimidating, kinda, to, you know, talk to somebody, cut off somebody's way out like that. That's really intimidating, a really strong pose. I think you need to let that sink in. Then I'm not sure the weight is, and he's immediately going away again. That also weakens the pose. Her eyes, I think the person wanted to do an eye roll, but doing an eye roll like that, rolling away, and then going immediately back again, that's not how you do an eye roll. If you do an eye roll, you really dedicate to it. You're like, oh, okay. You know, you let the eye roll be seen for a second. Yeah, and this is all kind of floaty. Like, he's not going into a pose. He's just like pulling the arm back a little, and then there's the second thing where he goes up, like pulling a little, then going up. And I think you either need to dedicate to the sliding, like, okay, I just drag the arm of the table, the hand of the table. That could be fine. That could be wonderful. Whenever you have a character touch the scenery, that really can make a huge difference and feel it all connected a little more. Or be like, I go to the next pose, and he really goes with an arc, drags the arm out. Information about this competition. Danish Selot is asking what kind of competition this is. We talked about this in the beginning. This is from the 11SecondClub. 11secondclub.com. Everybody can go there, and there's a new sound file every month, just 11 seconds, that you can animate to, and then you can upload it, and people like me can have a look at it and vote on it. And there's actually a very active forum. Like, you can submit your work in progress here, and you can get a lot of useful tips from all the members there. So I can only recommend taking part in that competition.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, so Now, this is what I mean with when the walking is not contributing to the animation. Like, it feels like the walking is not used for acting. The walking is just a loop that is going on. You can have a style that is like that. Like, if you say, like, I don't know, there's a music video and this is part of the whole thing, keeping the rhythm in a walk. Like, there are reasons where you can just keep a walk going like that. But I feel like here, in this dialogue, you need to use the walking to communicate. Like, when are they walking? When is one character standing, like stopping to walk? Does the other one stop to walk too? When does he stop to walk? Like, you can use the walking and who's walking when and how to do acting. And if you just do like a loop, you miss an acting opportunity. Yeah, and then there's some floaty eyes, I think, every now and then, where the eyes are just going like back and forth. With eyes, they always like should go like tick, 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 and never like that's not something that eyes do. But I do like the style. I always dig it when people do like cutout style things. All right, let's go on.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Nice lighting, nice acting. Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like it's too bad that you miss
Presumptuous of you.
her reaction here. Like, that goes by far too quickly. Like, I do like that her eyes at the beginning are a little down and then go up. But like, you don't see it enough. I think that would have been important to really not miss it. I do like snappiness a lot too. I wonder if it's really fitting to the dialogue. I mean, I like that he's closing in on her. But somehow even this is too restless for me. I think if you do something snappy like this, you need to dedicate to just a few poses. You have very strong poses, so just let them shine. Like, I'm not sure the secondary head scratch is even necessary. Like, just start out like this. Or maybe even just start out like... I feel like the poses are kind of saying the same thing. Like, I'm a little shy, and I'm so shy I hide behind a ball. Like, I feel like you should decide for one of them, and the ball is the more unusual one, I think, the stronger one. And it also feels a little bit like I'm about to give you a gift. Like, I do like that dimension to it. So I don't know, maybe just start with this, and then you can have the big "I wanna come." And I do like that she feels very genuinely intrigued, genuinely flirty and thinking about it. Like, that is good. And then that change in her attitude when she sees it. It's too bad we missed that. Really good. Yeah. Let's leave it with that.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Great situation. Interesting rigs. But what is going on here when he is turning? Like, there's a little pop in the shoulder. You see that? Like, I would try to smooth that out as much as possible. And then I'm not sure it's going with the words. Why is he pulling up the shoulder like that?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't...
Like, it needs to go with the words. Like, our party's a democracy. Like, maybe. The majority voted you could come. Like, tie your shoulder movement to that. And the hands... Yeah, there's no no clear arc. Like what is happening here, like the hand is moving along an arc, but it's moving back and forth. Have a look at this. Back and forth. Back and forth. Like there's no nice gentle swing there. And what is there when there's a cut? There's something jarring there. And also her hand is all over the place, swinging back and forth. Ah, and the head is popping back and forth. Too bad, because I really like the situation. Really do like the situation. The fingers aren't doing anything. Lobby the cartoonist says, I mean, the fingers aren't really doing anything, and they look like they're in a default rig position. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, probably. There's a little bit of a point there, but you're right, before that. It could be a worse default position. Oh, that's nice. I don't know, there are nice moments in here. A lot to do.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Nice. Finally something that is a little more quiet, and I feel like it's immediately one of the strongest. That really, really good gesture, like really shy, really gentle. It's really
Party's
nice.
a democracy, and the majority voted you
It's really nice.
could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah,
And the way he lifts his head while she is talking.
you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we
It's very gentle up and down. That's really nice.
Such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we
I can't quite point her like... I mean, at the end it's very clear. And maybe that was the intention, to keep it a little in the dark, what she's really thinking about it.
I realized it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you. Such an honor to go trick-or-treating
And she has this little...
with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want
Here,
in.
there's like a little eye roll thing, but it's more like, of course I would go with you, dummy. As opposed to the other eye rolls that we saw that were like, oh, you're so annoying. It's really interesting how that can change in the way that you do the performance. And then in the end, this very flirty...
That's presumptuous of you.
That's really cute. Yeah. Oh, really good. Really, really good.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, she's kind of a bit default. Like, I would have liked to see something more in her.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I like that there's some filmic thinking here. Like, there's an establishing shot, some cinematic thinking here. The opening, the close-up, I think far too close. Like, only get too close if you really have a good reason. And I would have liked to see his face more, or her face. Like, see what kind of character she is. And then maybe get a little over the shoulder thing here to see exactly how the spacing is. Maybe even to make clear that he is standing all the way on the stairs up here and she is still down here. Yeah, and then of course it's all really rough. I do like the flipping of the cape back and putting the mask on. There are some good ideas in here, but I think it's far too rough to give it a really good score.
Our party's a
Lobby the... No, who? Habruna Te Ensenya said to the one before, I think one of them should have been making eye contact during the whole shot while they were sitting on the sofa. I don't think I can go back, but yeah, maybe that is the thing that I was missing. Like that he is like all shy and looking away, and but she's like, oh, I wonder if he's asking me. I hope he's asking me. Like something like that, you know? Yeah, that's a good idea. And to the one we just saw, the key poses the key poses could have been more clear. The establishing shot looks nice. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, let's have a look at the next one.
Democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
A lot of swaying. I can't really read the attitude. My suggestion would be to brainstorm more poses, dedicate to what emotion you want to convey, what poses you want to convey.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to...
Yeah, like if the person felt like overwhelmed by the honor to be invited, then you should have just kept with one pose. I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you, and then maybe one thing with the poses going more open. Well, I think there's another character, we just don't see it. There's no real cinematic shot here, like the character is just in the middle, which is something that you rarely do. What you rarely do in films, that you have the character like that in the middle.
go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full...
Yeah, I think we talked about the basic things, other basic things a lot, so let's just leave it with that.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, one of the most important things here, there is no actual time to react for him. The moment she starts talking, his face already drops.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Like, you can't do that. There needs to be some processing time. Like, the majority voted you could come. I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you. Like, and then only at the very end, like at trick-or-treating with you, the character can really react to it, And I find it a bit odd that he's reacting so strongly, like so, what? And then he's starting the next thing, all smiling and happy. And then he's going, again. I feel like a more natural progression would have been, he's showing the thing, the majority voted, I do like that idea, kinda. And then he could just be disappointed. He could just be like, but I still have another argument. I still have the supersized candy bars. That at first he's not angry, he's just, and then maybe the progression of the scene is that he's getting angry. Habruna points out the smear frames. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He has like those gummy arms. What I do like, acting-wise, is that he wanted to put this thing away, and then he still pulls it back and has it. Like, this is something that would realistically happen. Like, I still have something in my hand, and I put it down, and somebody says something, and I use the thing in my next gesture, because, I still have it in my hand. I didn't put it down. I was on the way to put it down, then I was interrupted, and that's why I still have it in my hand. That is, I think, very nice. You need to be careful that it doesn't look like a mistake, like he's still wobbling up and down with that thing. But yeah. Yeah, a bit overreacted. And it doesn't make him feel nice. Like, we don't think he's a nice character. And I think we should feel with him. We should feel like, oh, he got those votes. And oh, he's showing him the candy bars. Like, you know what I mean? That could have had more sympathy points. But yeah, quite decent.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
What? Is that part of the animation style that they pop around like that? Now, what you really can't do, you can't just have a wrist like in the middle of the, like he's nailed down into the air and then slowly turning the hand. Like this has nothing to do with real physics. This isn't just creepy. You think it's trolling? I don't know. It feels like this person, they at least threw lights on it and stuff. I don't know. This cannot be meant serious. 2 stars for rendering effort. Yeah, baby. Nah, come on.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Interesting rigs? Like, is that from a game or something?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't
Again, focus. Our party's a democracy. Majority voted you could come. Like, nail your poses to the words.
realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Kinda nice lip sync. I
Party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an
like that big mouth. What is that program? What are these rigs? Really interesting. It's kind of too bad that the character, like, the character's hidden behind that thing, which gives it depth, but you have all this unused space and this headroom for not much reason. Like, if you do that, then you could use it to establish that she is sitting higher than him, maybe, but then she would need to be, like, all the way up here, and he would need to look up more to her. Like, I don't feel they have much of a connection, but really interesting rendering, really interesting rigs. And then the background action. Does anyone know what this is from? Yeah. The animation looks nice, the composition is really weird. Staging, indeed.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. I like the acting choice, like that she's taking the candy bar. That's a good idea.
Our party's a democracy, and
A bit quick and stiff.
our party's a democracy, and the majority
Like, there's no real weight dropping. Like, he's just doing the most important walk frames and then just stands here.
voted you could come.
I didn't
Voted you could come. You know, dedicate to it. Like, if you decided to do this pose, do this pose.
realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party
Yeah, for animation there's always the big debate when you draw the entire body and everything and when you separate stuff on layers. I feel like because of the layer separation here, it feels very, very stiff sometimes. Well, it would have been interesting if the whole body would dedicate to a motion, and this time you can feel like it's all kind of separated from each other. But it's very difficult in layered 2D animation to improve that impression. I do like that gesture.
That's presumptuous of you.
And that she's looking, that she's leaning in and taking the thing away from him. Like, that's a really, really good idea.
we figured you'd want in. Candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah. maybe slower motions in total, and not necessarily draw more frames, just put stuff on twos and on thirds to space them out a little, make them a little slower. What did I rate for the previous shot? I don't even remember. You can probably look it up. You can rewind on YouTube. I think I gave it a good... Didn't I give it a good rating? I hope I did. At the end, we can look at all of them again in a list and maybe weight some a little more or a little less.
Democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating.
Democracy.
Like, when she's moving up the arm, I would like to see like just one frame more, I think. And is that body, is that just one frame for her whole shoulder area moving? I feel like especially for the shoulder area, you always need like 3 or 4 frames to have like a nice settle and, you know, to really show like anticipation and stuff like that. I do like the eye, looking down, the eyebrow. That's pretty nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Whoa, nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Well, first of all, I really love the mixed media aspects that you have the two animation styles. Really cute, really nice. And it is one of the ones where there are less poses, and I immediately like it more. And you know, the poses not flipping back and forth, it all feels really subtle, really real. And you know, this is what we try to do in animation, realness. There's one point where I think I would like a little broader motion, which is also the most tricky part in here, is when she takes the card. Like, it's just flipping over in like one frame. I feel like this would have been nice if it could have been a little more archy, a little slower. I think she's also pulling it very straight towards herself. Like, I think it's almost straight. Yeah, you see that? I think the reason why is because if she does it like this, oops. If she would pull it over her nose, it would cover up her nose. Maybe she could have done it like this. But yeah, I feel like that motion could have been a little more slow, especially because it's important. It's important that that you know, the card is exchanged. It's a very important moment story-wise. Maybe the dog is a little too pose to pose. Like, there is some overlap here when he's reaching over the cart. There's some stuff getting slower at different times. But I feel like, especially because you are in 3D, you can really put more weight into the dog. You can make it a little slower. You can make it like, you know, like really have this little here, this little weight in the whole body shoulder area. And in 2D, this is a little difficult because you don't want to draw all these frames. But, you know, in 3D, just take if you have like a weight thing, experiment with different length, because you can do that very easily in 3D. Just take the shoulder controller, if you want to take the shoulder weight, and just give it, you know, 4 frames more, 5 frames, 6 frames more, and see if it improves. And then there's this point where it suddenly becomes floaty, and you need to stop before that point. But it's very easy to experiment with that in 3D. Yeah, a little more overshoot. But I like the poses. I do like the poses. I do like her reactions and how she's like shying down. Maybe she could have done that in a little more arc too. A little more. Yeah, a little more arc. Really nice. Really, really nice. Just nice. Just a great concept. Good.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
What?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party...
At first I thought that this was like a toilet roll and not like, I think it's supposed to be like a drink or something. A toilet paper roll is what I thought what this was. That's supposed to be his costume or something. Anyway, okay, so I think we talked about a lot of this before, you know, dedicate to poses, all this good stuff. Think about more flow in your poses, not just straight. There's a lot going on with her fingers for no reason. Like it's going open and closed and then flipping over. Like you need to dedicate, go to the next one. Very symmetric poses. Kind of floaty. I do like the mirroring that is going on. I'm not sure if that is intentionally done, but you know, if people are connecting with each other, they often mirror their poses, either completely or just a little bit. And this was probably an accident here, but that can be very interesting sometimes. Yeah, but you know, she's just straight. And just, you know, there's no weight in the overall body. It's all just separated from each other. Bruna doesn't think that it is on purpose. H. Bruna. Oh man, it's so difficult to pronounce everybody's nicknames here. Yeah.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party...
Again, walking, which is not really used for acting. Bruna, okay. That's how I'm gonna call you.
It's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize...
Okay, so, again, our motion is not held long enough.
Voted you could come. The majority voted you could come.
And there's like a weird bounce in there.
And the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor.
Like, if you want to have a thing like this that is just washing by, you need to really just do majority voted you could come. Then you need to do that. Or like the majority voted you could come. Like then you can make the double take. The majority voted you could come. Like then you can have two steps to it, but not like a weird mix of the two. That doesn't work.
Honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't...
I do like this short little glance over. That's a good idea.
Want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. I like that art style. And we already saw this pose a lot, but I think it's working okay here. I do like that they have this horse costume and she would be the third wheel and he is like, why are you asking that woman? Like, a really, really nice scene. Nami the cartoonist says, oh, this is cute. Yeah, it is. It's very sweet.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bar.
I feel like some poses are a little too early. They hit too early. Let me see.
Majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to...
Party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
A party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come. Like, I feel like it should be with the last words, but it's a little early.
Party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't...
And same with her. Like, honored to go trick-or-treating with you. Like, it needs to be tight more to that.
Treating with you.
Yeah.
It was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
There are some poses that are a little difficult silhouette-wise. Like, that stuff in front of his body is getting lost a little. Like, here. Like, you cannot always... Like, usually you would try to get stuff into the silhouette. Like, if somebody is giving a gift, you are not doing it in front of the body because that is difficult to see on a first glance. What you would do is you would take the gift out of the silhouette, and now it's really easy to see, even on a short glance, what is happening here. And sometimes you cannot avoid it. Then you need to have stuff in front of the body. But then I wouldn't do it where everything is. Like, I wouldn't do, you know, where the upper arm and lower arm is. I wouldn't do it here. I would do it in front of the body, in front of the shirt. So that at least you can see the hand silhouette completely alone in front of the shirt. Does that make sense? Where is the window? Yeah, you see what I mean here? That is too busy. But yeah, really nice situation. Really, really well done.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Nice art style again. I do like it in general. There's a lot of sitting down and attitude changes that I'm not sure are necessary. Like, again, I don't know. Like, at first she seems to be really into the suggestion. Like, it is animated like she means it. Like it is an honor. But then for no reason she's suddenly opposed. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I feel like with this dialogue, realistically, you need to go one way or the other. Because here it is too late to get angry at him. Because he just said, you know, we get the big candy bars. And if you already liked him before, that's not a reason for you to change your attitude. Motion-wise, it is a bit pose-to-posy, which is not bad. I don't know, that acting thing is drawing me out, like her quick attitude change. I feel like things like this pose change are not, like, there is an arc there, if you look at his hand. There's an arc there, but it's all coming to a stop at the same time. Maybe it could have been slower, it could have a nice little settle or a little bit of an overshoot, but there's already so much going on here, so I want to be careful with that advice. But yeah, not bad, not bad. What is the chat saying? Yeah, Lobby the cartoonist is also not buying the emotion change. She was smiling, then suddenly she gets up and gets mad. Yeah, that's too much out of nowhere. So much squat going on. Yeah. But yeah, not bad.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Nice poses. There are some motions that are very fast.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come. Our party's a democracy, and the majority...
Like, I do like that secondary action here. I kind of don't fully understand why he's so nervous, and like it almost feels a little threatening, but I don't mind it. I mean, it's probably meant to be a little more unsure, so maybe I would push his facial expression if you want to go more in that direction, like to really make him a little, and have him look away, and yeah. Oh, that is too sad, maybe, but yeah, maybe like this, you know, a little more shy. I feel like. And I do like, in principle, that, you know, there is a little bit of pushing the poses. That's a really good trick. Like, to instead of what a lot of the other people do, just insert a new pose. Instead of that, he just took a pose he already had and made it a little stronger. Like, intensified it a little bit. Again, too fast. I feel like it could just have, you know, just drag the keyframes that you have. Just 2, 3, 4 frames further apart. And I think then the timing would have a nicer settle. Yeah, the head is very... Like, I do like it from the steps, like there's the shoulder and the head moving at different times, but maybe all a bit slower. That would be good. He does feel very threatening, like that is a very threatening camera angle. And she's defending. Maybe it is meant like that. But then again, you know, pulling your hair back, you don't do that when you're really threatened. It's just, you know, a little flirty. And then she's like, And she is like kind of defending herself. Not sure about this hand in front of the body. It doesn't need to be in front of the body. Like, maybe I'm just misreading this, but how are you guys seeing that? Yeah, again, but you know, maybe my assumption is right, not right, that he is shy. I don't know. Okay. And she is kind of posed. I don't know. This makes it very difficult to give a rating. It is decent. It is quite good. Yeah, it is a bit hard to read, is what Bruna is saying. Pull a knife, says Lobby the cartoonist. Yeah.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. I mean, this is a very, very crude animation style, but I'm always happy to see people entering styles like this, starting out their animation career, like with just fun animations that they want to do. You know, arc could be better, frame rate could be better. There are a lot of artifacts from copying and just moving frames around here and here. But yeah, I feel like what could improve this is a lot is to do more with the body. I don't know. Person is already doing a lot with the body. Lack of fundamentals. I don't know. I really do like when people start out like that and the person kind of is looking into the fundamentals, into some overshoot and follow through. But yeah, keep going. It's a good start.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
This is very cute.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
This is the kind of shyness that I'm always looking for, I think. And that we didn't have seen that this well in a lot of them. Like this looking back and forth, but then also kind of getting distracted. But this is so weird. Like this mix of being shy and at the same time being convinced of what you're doing. Like, I think that is what's actually in the voice, what's in the original. You know, he is this kind of, I wouldn't say he's an unsure character, but, you know, he's a nerdy character. But he's nerdy with passion, and he doesn't get that he's a little awkward, that he's a little... But there's like kind of an honesty around this. I don't know, it's difficult for me to put that in words. Like clumsy a little bit, socially clumsy. Yeah, I like how he inches closer at the beginning, says Lowy the cartoonist. Uh-huh. And then she has a lot of attitude, like that pose, and it is kind of flowy pose, which I also really like. You can see what type of character she is, and that she's definitely a completely different character than our other dude. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. And it also doesn't have as many poses, right?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. That is too much swaying, too broad. Yeah, no, I would decide on just a few spots to stand. Like, what is going on there? And I mean, keep in mind, he's not talking here. Switch the sound back on so we see when he's starting to talk. Like,
our party's a democracy.
What is he trying to think about what to say? Like, I feel like you would be a lot calmer. Like, you still want to be invisible. You don't want people to catch you rehearsing what you're about to say. Like, you're more like, you know, you're like more for yourself, and then you start. I think that actually could be a nice contrast, like to be like, oh, I'm super shy, what do I say that, okay, I try that, and then he suddenly gets super confident and broad and hey baby, like that. I think that could have been a nice thing, but it's just too much. He seems to scale up and down, says in space. Yeah, something is up with this space.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted.
Or she is getting larger then?
That you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
And then he's smaller again?
That's presumptuous of you.
I don't know. Very restless. Just say it's
our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Oh, again, some mixed media stuff and a little story. That's nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I wonder if that reaction is a little late. Like, I think I would say I would not do the double take. I would just do like down and now without the second dragging closer. Then, well, personally, I think less poses would have been better here too. I do like little things like the finger, her finger here. That's a nice gesture. Nice arc, maybe a bit fast. That's a nice jump of the ant here. Jump, walk, walk, walk. That is really nice. The run. I have a bit of an issue with the hand poses here. Like, there's just, I know hands are a lot of work in 3D, but I think you can do so much by just, you know, placing them a little different. Maybe not even like this. Like, see, I also have to try out things. Like that, maybe. I don't know. Somehow I don't like the extremely flat hand. It just looks like a default hand flipped over, which is too bad because I like the whole rest. And the mouth pose is a bit. It's too bad that in the rendering it does these ugly marks there. That's kind of distracting. I don't know. Maybe the O shape needs to be a little more relaxed. A little more fascinated. A little more happy about it, I think. But yeah, overall, really nice. Nice little story. Yeah, I think I want to see the resolution. I want to see her happy. I like it.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like this has a very good ratio of poses. Like, it doesn't feel too hectic. There's a nice leading of expectations, like that she is pulling out the chainsaw. And the weight feels good, feels convincing. And it's visible enough, ends in a nice framing. It's pretty good. And here's the weight drop here. Just the way how he's holding the gun, I like it. The setting is pretty cool. Quarantine zombie shelter. Yeah, I like that amount of poster pose. I like his reaction to the chainsaw. Like, he's kind of. And a good overlap. Like, he's going in that pose first and then holding the gun. Maybe it could have been a little bit of an overshoot, but it's nice. Like, I feel like there is something that could be better about this. I just can't pinpoint it down right now. Maybe the sound again?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
That facial expression, it's nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick or...
Even then, the characters are still acting. Even when the other character is talking, like, she's not distracting with her emotions. Her emotions are not big enough to be distracting, but she's still... It still fits to her character, even if it's a little blockish. But if the acting is right, it doesn't... I'm not bothered at all by this just popping into the pose. It totally works.
Democracy, and the majority voted you could...
Yeah, I think we have to move on. I just really like this one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. I mean, interesting setup. Kinda interesting start. Like, I like that first shot. This could have been a little slower. But, you know, very flowy. The arcs are nice. Posing could be a bit more clear. Like, in this case, if you have a pose that is brought like this, then you can make sure... I mean, there's a nice line of action going through him. That's already pretty nice. I would totally... you know, do something with the hand outside of the silhouette. And then I'm not a big fan of characters holding stuff like that, going that way around. I feel like it needs to be like, yeah, that looks more right. Yeah. But then you have a nice straight against curve thing going on. But yeah, already pretty good. She doesn't have a clear arc. Like, it's kind of weak. Like, she could be looking down on him, or she could be looking away. I don't know. I feel like that could have been used for more of a statement. But pretty good. Yeah. Again, he's holding that other arm in front of his body. Now, there we have a stronger pose. I feel like if you're dedicating to like a completely weak pose like that, it could be more like that. Like, you know, really go for the hanging arms. Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like this person had a lot of fun with the male character. Like, that is pretty creepy. There's a lot of bouncy, springy stuff going on, and the shoulders kind of softly moving as if somebody forgot some keys there. It doesn't look like they are following a particular weight or pose. Like, they're just kind of shifting there, which is difficult for shoulders to do. If you have your hands resting on a table, then, I don't know, your shoulder can settle a little, but not like slowly or like, I don't know, wobbling around. I do like the provocative opening of the eyes, but it's too fast, too springy, I think. And then she just has a, I don't know. Although that pose is pretty strong. But I'm not sure this is natural. Like, do you have the arm that far over? I don't know. Lobby the cartoonist says the gold's weight shift was too fast, in my opinion. Yeah. I do like this lean forward. Like, more moments like this. Slower, hitting a pose, and staying in that pose. That would be nice. But yeah, decent. Do these animators actually pose before they make their character poses? Says Bruna. Yeah. They should. You should definitely plan your poses and stick to them.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such...
I like the timing charts shining through. This shows that somebody put a lot of thought into that, a lot of planning.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like there could have been a clearer or better choice of poses. Let's say it that way. There are some poses that I like this. I like, but there's like the broad poses I feel like are just, you know, they're not really saying much. Like,
Reading with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size...
like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like this doesn't warrant that much of a motion. Yeah, I mean, it feels more like like a shrug, you know. And to avoid this, I think it's important to make more reference and put yourself in that situation and see what motions come naturally to you. And then her face is kind of frozen for a long time.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd...
Go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know...
She needs to close the mouth, at least a little bit.
Where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party...
But it does have leaning back and forth, something that other animators didn't do. It's not filmic at all. It's more like a theater. It's not cinematic. There's no thinking about camera positions and stuff like this. But it's a good start. It's a really good entry. I did enjoy it.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
Bruna said to the previous one, the one we just saw, this looks like the work of a good animator in the making. Not quite there yet, but it shows promise. Yeah, definitely. That were the words that I was looking for. Okay.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, this is just blocking. But for what is there, I do like the poses more than in some of the other ones.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go
fingers open too late.
Trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars.
Again, dedicate to poses. Yeah, I mean, like, keep the hand up there if you want to do that.
We figured you'd want in.
And that is weird. We figured you want in. I don't know. We figured you want in. Like, just go up with hands. That's enough. Yeah, she doesn't move at all. I think this animator was just didn't have time to finish.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
It's difficult with this limited art style to say much about it because the poses are all very similar.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize.
I think the words are hit right. You know, a party's a democracy, the majority figured you could come. Like, the beats are right.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize
I mean, that's a little weird with going up and then down again, but okay.
it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating.
I'm not sure about her legs like that.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I like what what the animator's going for here, but it just feels like a mistake.
Trick-or-treating with you.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause
we don't want to
it
get the
goes
full-size
on.
candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I don't know. But the tilt back again is nice. Nobi says, I like how he outstretches his arms when he talks about the big-sized candy bars.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's
It's repeating that gesture a lot. But actually, I can really recommend animating with simplified characters like that. It really helps you to find to get a feeling for the timing, because timing is everything here, you know. And one of the things that always inspires me, that I find very amazing, is the Muppets, because in the Muppets you don't have much facial expressions, you know, they're just hand puppets, and for facial expression they can just open the mouth, but they can just do so much just by opening the mouth, just by tilting the head down, and the timing in the Muppets is just always right. The puppeteers have such good feeling for that, and I think you really can learn a lot of great acting, great performance just by simplified stuff like that. It really helps you to develop a feeling for the important moments and the important full body shifts in the characters. Yeah, Lobi, the cartoonist, says, yeah, with the Muppets it's all about the body language, and they are master with that. They really are. So yeah, this is quite decent, but of course it's kind of made easy with those simple characters.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
That is so nice. Oh my.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Too bad the lip sync seems a bit off. Like, it hits the right shapes, but I feel like they're not like fast enough. There's not. I mean, it's okay.
Voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Honor is a little too early, but I really like the facial expression.
our party's a democracy.
And I like the body tilt. You know, this is the stuff that I always talk about.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean,
And just so much subtle stuff happening in the body.
Honor to
Like,
go trick-or-treating with you.
yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
and how the connection, like, there's not only a connection between those two, there's also a connection between the him and his buddy. That is nice. Let's see it again.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, I just enjoy it a lot. Yeah. You want to give 10 stars? I feel like to have 10 stars, it needs to nail the lip sync. And I know that is difficult. It's also difficult for me to do perfect lip sync, but it's just so charming and nice. Really good. Yeah, Dragon Skunk says, I like the head up our party is, and then flops down a democracy.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
But, you know, again, he doesn't have a mouth. It's just the body language. A party is a democracy. Like, you need to hit the words with the body language, with the pose, and stop there. And you know, so it's really readable, really nice, really nice. That's refreshing. That's great.
Our parties are
Okay, before we continue, I just want to say thank you for everybody who is still watching. I really enjoy doing this with you. I just want to point out that if you like what we're doing here at Animator Island, this takes a lot of time and preparation, like, okay, not this video in particular, but all the other stuff that we do. And if you want to support us, you can either go to the Animation for Beginners tutorial and purchase the bonus session that talks a lot about overlap and follow through. So if that's something that you want to repeat again, I can only recommend it to you. And by purchasing the tutorial, you really help us out a lot. We also have other stuff though. We have, if you actually go there, you can also see the other things that we currently have in the shop. We have this nice mug, which I really like how it turned out. I don't even know where mine is. I think it should be around here somewhere. But yeah, I really love how this mug with bouncing balls turned out. Here you can see it going around. It has different bouncing balls on it, and if you are an animator, you might want to have this. You might enjoy this. And we also have this "Take It Easy" shirt right here. Get it easy. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the merch that we have, and of course that tutorial. And by getting anything like that, you really help us out a lot, and you can get it once again, where you can also watch the hour-long free tutorial about the animation basics. I posted the link again in the chat. Okay, after this short commercial break, let's go on.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah, I don't think we have to talk about this much because we already, you know, make it calmer, slow emotions, arcs in the motions, and so on.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted.
There's stuff going on with the hands that is not right. Just wildly rotating. It gets significantly better in the moment where it gets calmer. Like when the person decides to do that, it gets significantly better, you know? So if you find good poses, trust your poses, I guess is the message here. But yeah, good try. This person should definitely also keep going.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, that's nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted.
Again, you see, somebody picked some poses and stayed in the poses, and it gets so much better.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize.
I like the slight opening of his hand with the words. Again, tied to the words.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
He does all the acting with the face and his hand there. It's really interesting how that is enough, right? Strong facial expressions and then just a little bit of pose variation. And it really feels like he's resting against there. And to strengthen that impression, there's this little weight shift where he gets a little weight off and he uses that to slide his hand down, and then the weight is on it again. That is amazing. Makes it so much... like, makes the whole scene feel real. The whole physics feel real. And also how she is putting the books away. Like, it's just so gentle. So, like, there's weight to that book. She's carefully placing it. We saw a similar scene earlier, and now we see the perfect way to do this. Really nice. And how she closes it. And her fingers spread a little bit and slide down. Like, this is already polishing stuff. This is already nice, really advanced. And this is the Kyla rig by Josh Sobel. I can really, like now I'm even making commercials for somebody else. Josh Sobel's rigs. He does rigs for Maya, and they're all really amazing. He's a really good rigger. They cost like $10, $15, $20, something like that, but they're really worth it. Really nice. But the problem that I always have with Kyla are those slanted eyes. Like, they sometimes make some facial expressions difficult. There's a lot, maybe a little too much happening with the eyelids. But what am I nitpicking here? This is really nice. I also like that the situation continues here, because if you think about it, it's pretty provocative what she says. Like, that's presumptuous.
We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
And he is reacting to it. See, at first he's not reacting, and it takes a beat for him to realize, oh, really good. It's so much like the other scene, the 2D scene we had before, was just such a fun setting. And this is a very, very good acting right here. It's very difficult to compare the two and give them different ratings.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. Some storytelling here. I like the idea.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like that shot is almost too short. The shot of the pink robot. Because that, you know, that is the very important thing here. So it could be a bit longer. I feel like they sometimes don't hit the words when they do something. Like, the motions are right and the poses are right and delightful, but they're not always coming at the same time.
Democracy, and the majority voted. Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't.
Like, I feel like he turns too early. He has to turn. You could come. That's where he has to.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, this is really nice. Good. You guys still there in the chat, or did I run out of internet again? Let's see. Okay. Next one. Yeah, no, this is really good too.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
What's with the video chat setting?
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go.
Yeah, this is not really cinematic. No real filmic camera resolutions.
Trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean...
And the lip sync is just kind of melting. I mean, I like how flowy this person is experimenting with animation, but there's still a lot to do, a lot to learn about the fundamentals and going pose to pose and, you know, overshoot and overlap on all this body mechanics stuff that we heard about it so much.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Also, a relaxing one again, with not too many poses, which makes it almost too static. Like, they're very straight up. Like, for my taste, I could have bent the... Like, I like it when he does that, when he goes with the head left and right a little bit. Maybe she could lift the head a little when she said, "That's presumptuous of you." To really, you know, put some more acting into it. Interestingly, I think it might be easier to improve this one than a lot of the other ones that we saw. Like, the person needs to decide what they're going for. Like, if they are like you know, going towards each other, going away from each other, shying away. Like, you know, you need to make those decisions and then bring them out stronger. And I feel like here you still have all the openings to do that. And the lip sync is okay, maybe a bit soft at some spots.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating.
Like, I like that she's like very intrigued, but you need to strengthen that. You know, I didn't realize it was such an honor. Like, you know, she could actually come closer. Oh, we have the animator here. Easy Dreams. This is yours. Mm-hmm.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize.
I do like the facial expressions in general, like that he's raising the eyebrow like that. That's really nice. And she's doing the same thing, kind of mirroring. Like the faces do feel fleshy and nice. But yeah, okay, because you're here, let's dedicate a little more time to
Our
this.
party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize.
Like, for the you could come, I think you need to make a decision. You need to make a decision to either make him more begging, or I don't know, something. Let him go closer. The majority voted you could come. You want to come, right? Or be more like the majority voted you could come, right? Like a little shy, like, huh? Like that could be nice.
It's an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, and I already said, like, if she's really intrigued by it, then I realize that's an honor. Like, it's really an honor, and I can do that? Like, express that with the little body action.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars.
I like this little dreamy
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size
thing that, yeah, full-size candy bars. Like, that makes him likable. That's really nice.
candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
Maybe even hold that longer. Like, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. Maybe you want in. You know? Like, he's at the candy bars, thinking about the candy bars. Maybe you want in. You know? Make strong decisions for attitudes in the moment, I think. Other than that, I think it's already decent, and you can build a lot on that. But yeah, a little more attitude would be nice. Really good. Okay, I hope that was helpful.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
This is like, is that like a motion tracking thing? Some rigging software. This is like a little wobbly. Look at the hair. Like, this seems to be some kind of automatic animation, and it's wobbling back and forth because there's like some kind of a kind of staggering here. Huh. Interesting. Again, always be careful with holding stuff out like this. We usually have stuff like, I don't know. This feels just like an unnatural pose. Usually, we humans are lazy. We just need to hold it in a more natural pose where you can really feel the weight of it. I mean, this is difficult with a character design like this, because then it will be on the floor. But you know, only if you do it like this, it really has weight to it. And I mean, she is kind of doing that. But also her hand positions. I feel like the hand positions are kind of weird. Like, have them be a little more relaxed. Maybe like this. I don't know. Yeah, and besides that, it's mostly lip sync. At least there is some camera, and this time is just a zoom in, which is kind of awkward to have him cut off like that. But it's definitely a way to make talking heads more interesting. But he's just like getting stuck on the way here. And there's no overshoot and stuff. I feel like if you do cutout animation, if you do reduced animation like this, you need to pay a special attention to details like this. You know, don't let stuff get stuck mid-arc. Like, don't have stuff go like like that, and have nice overshoots. And you know, you're already saving so much work with cutout animation. Try to get those things better. But yeah, I think cutout animation is you can do it. You can definitely do amazing things with rigs. Like, I don't want to say don't do cutout animations ever, don't do South Park animation ever. You can do amazing things with limited animation like that. Precedent 1 says maybe the 11 Second Club would allow you to promote this monthly review on their website next time. Yeah, I have to admit I haven't talked to them about it yet. Because, you know, if you don't ask, they cannot say, no, you can't do this. But yeah, maybe I should. Or maybe just somebody posts this video in the 11 Second Club so people can see that I'm doing these things. All right, next one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Whoa, okay. This is the third one in the same setting. But this person is really using the environment. I love that she's slamming the door with the end of her sentence. Like, this is combining the sentence, the acting, what she's saying, and everything, and just using it. Really, really nice. He's a little too jumpy for my taste. Like, he does that one motion, and then he does a very similar motion again. Like, I don't like that when motions repeat like this. I feel like it takes away, because you have the same thing 2 times, it takes away from it in a way. Like, it would have been better if you only did it once for the more important point. But then there is some nice shoulder action, the shrug, really nice, and how she's pulling out the books, like there really is weight. And how she's holding it is believable. That's really nice. Somebody really thought about how somebody would do that. I do like this moment, like where he's doing like this cool thing with like, I'm cool, I'm leaning here, but at the same time he's doing like with his nerd glasses, he's lifting his nerd glasses, which is kind of not so cool. Like, I like this mix. That's really nice. A nice hand pose too, and how he's holding the book in front of him, like that's kind of like gives him a little more confidence in his awkwardness. I wish we could see that last frame a little longer. I really love it, how he's like nerdily looking up. like a little creepy, a little awkward. That's nice, really nice. I have to see it one time again with sound.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Really nice. Yeah. Maybe a few poses left, less
It was such an honor to
in the boy.
you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
Like, we figured you want in. Like, either we figured you want in, or we figured you want. We figured you want in. I don't know. What am I nitpicking here? This is really good.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Our party...
This is just floaty blocking, unfortunately.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Wow, that is nice.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
That is so cute. And how the dog just keeps on panting. Oh my, that is really nice. Okay. And his little head wobble. Head wobbles are actually kind of difficult to animate without. And how his glasses are lagging behind. It's so cute. I'm sometimes not so sure about the double takes. Like here, he's doing the candy bar to give it more emphasis. He's doing that again. But it feels kind of like nailed in the air. I don't know.
We know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured...
It works with the sound, though. And then the hand rotation here. I think what I would do to make it even better, if you have a hand rotation like this, while the hand rotation is going on, the hand still needs to be going down. Like, am I still in the frame? I don't really see it. Like, you know, and only at the end of the hand rotation, the hand goes down. Like, it looks a little weird if you have it going in place, but yeah, I'm nitpicking here. Damn, I really like this one too. Okay. Next one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Here you see some good cutout animation.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I mean, it is a mix of cutout and frame by frame, I think. Or some copy-pasted things. Like, it's nice. It has a situation going on. It has an attitude going on. The change in her is believable. And that's a nice idea to go, like, to take the candy bar and then be a little more flirty, be a little more open. That's a nice change. That's a believable change. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the next step, I would think about camera, about different staging, different camera angles, stuff like that. I think that could make it even stronger if you cut, like in a movie, make it a little more cinematic. I was dangling there. I'm not sure on the wobble on the candy bar, because, you know, it's a candy bar, it should be solid. Like, you can do, like, that's the weird thing about like rubber hose animation. It feels very good on organic characters if you have like dancing or jumping or something fast, but if you have a solid object, better keep it solid. I do like the stretch though. Yeah, and that she's stretching it first and then dragging it over, like that gives it this nice impact. Maybe a little overshoot here, but would be nice. But it's, yeah, sweet. I mean, we saw some other ones that were also really good. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see good animations.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Mm-hmm.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
There's some good poses in there. I do like the idea. I do like the ghost character. I feel like just keep that pose. Just. Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you. Huh?
Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
Yeah. Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was...
Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't
Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come. Like, just 2 poses. Like, that's all you need.
realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean...
And yeah, this one sells the shy, oh, it is an honor, pretty well. Yeah, there's a bit of hand mirroring going on. Dragon Skunk points that out.
Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars.
I mean, you can break hand mirroring really easy if you, you know, where's my pen? If you... You know, if you just put more distance between the things, and is there a pose where he is also? I think there's a pose where he is
With you.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
I like that the ghost is like getting larger and getting closer, and he's like, ah. It's a nice moment. But yeah, to avoid hand mirroring, first of all, I would pull this out a little more so you have a better silhouette. And then maybe even completely go out of the mirroring, or if you don't do that, then at least, you know, have it substantially lower, and then you get out of the twinning. Good point. BJ says, nice way to practice body acting. Did the animator rig those themselves? Yeah, it almost looks like it, right? It looks like some self-made rigs. Like the ways that the eyes are made, they're pretty similar. They're definitely the same
Our
set.
party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
I feel like a ghost cheat character is really good to practice body language. We had that in remember the good 2D one with the ghost where he was like, oh, no democracy. Like that was pretty good too. Maybe we should make a ghost rig or something on Animator Island so people can practice their body acting and their timing a little more. Okay. This definitely is on its way. Pretty good.
Our party's a democracy and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, again, she is changing attitude. I mean, she feels generally intrigued. Like, if she's not generally intrigued, then she needs to be like a little like tilt the head, like, oh, such an honor. Like, you know, like we need to feel something before if she's reacting that strongly at the end. I'm also not sure about that eyebrow there. Like, I mean, you don't have to make like perfectly mirrored eyebrows, but at least if she's mad, make them both be pointed down. Like that, maybe, if you want to break it a little. I'm not sure about the whole slide. I mean, it's a nice idea, but it's a little unbelievable because he's like picking up speed in the middle of it. And realistically, if you do that, you have your highest speed here. And then the moment you hit the bench starts doing friction. So you don't animate this like that. You know, you don't animate this like that. You have to go full speed and then go slower and slower. What is she doing before? Like, is she listening to music or something? Yeah, those are all a bit sudden and sometimes just nailed into the air. Like, it doesn't feel like a flowing gesture, and then the next one, it's more like stuff happening, flapping over. But I mean, you can really build on this. It's also a good start. And you know, props like the juice box, like how she's putting that down. That's always something good to play around with. Very promising.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay, a little bit of a story going on. Too much motion here, too much head there, and then this, and then that, and back and forth and left and right. Like, decide for one thing and stick with it. I do like the idea, though, that he has all the candy, or she has all the candy that she wants. Yeah, nice start.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Very floaty walk. Yeah, interesting rigs. If you have rigs that are so humanoid, I don't think you can make motions like that. Like, that is far too fast. Also, a lot of the time, if you do something like that, then the arm comes from down here, goes up like this, and then you can hit the wall. It's very rare that it just comes from down here and then is already aligned there. Like, we always prepare stuff like that, you know, and would go down again. Poses are okay. I do like her hand flip. Maybe that's a little too much strain on the fingers. It's a little too slight of a motion for her index finger to go down that far. I think I would have it a little more relaxed. But then I do like the flip and the provocative point. Yeah, very floaty walk. I think she's not even hitting the ground. Maybe she is. But yeah, just, you know. And then she's just hitting this pose with an ease and kind of like freezing in the middle. But I always have a hard time like give advice to people who are like, you know, they are on a good way to master the principles, but it's all just a little bit stiff. It needs to loosen up more. It needs to have more going on in the shoulder, but not too much. And you know, then you have this difficult phase when you learn animation, where your animations are either too stiff or just too much, too wobbly. And it's sometimes difficult, you know, and you need to do one thing, and then you need to do it a little more exaggerated, and the next one you need to do a little more, maybe too stiff, and then you need to find, you know, the right amount, and to really feel weight and stuff. It takes a little while to develop that feeling, and the best thing you can do is practice, which this person did. So, yeah, it's quite good. Okay, the last three.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. What does it say on the banner? Grand Aliens election? Great Alliance election? Okay. I do like the closed eyes here. Like, having closed eyes like this is like the nerdiest. I'm sure of what I'm saying. Like, I'm a little tiny man, and I'm sure what I'm saying. Like, that's so cute with the closed eyes. Again, I feel like she's genuinely intrigued, and then in the end, just rejection comes out of nothing. But it's a little less in this one than it is in some others. And it's just so cute how she's like going. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a little mockingly. This, oh, it's an honor. I feel like it should. If it is mocking him, that should be a little more clear. But other than that, it's just nicely animated. Volumes are a bit wobbly. Maybe keep the volumes a little more, but it works with the art style. It's okay. Ah, nice, cute one. President 1 asked how many 9 out of 10s were there. I think we had a few. I feel like in some competitions there are not many like that. We had a few good ones, and a lot of them were 2D, which I, as a 2D animator, or mainly 2D animator, like a lot. Ooh.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
There are moments where the animation is getting a lot better, and some animation where it's just like this turn is really creepy. Like, you never turn a head like that. No, never. It's always with a little dip or a little, going over. This is just a creepy puppet turn. Really creepy. Yeah, and this person, tries to do like overshoots and anticipations. This arm is just nailed in the air. There's an IK controller holding this hand, which is not. You shouldn't do that. This is just like a puppeteer string. But then I do like ideas like, taking them down here, having like a little weight shift that is a little too fast. It does have a lot of potential. Yeah, be careful with stuff being stuck in the air like that. And put more follow through in. But yeah, good start.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
As far as very limited puppet animation goes, cutout animation goes, this is acceptable. Like, if you had like a series with really good dialogue, you could actually animate it like this. If it's all about the dialogue, all about the words, sometimes you don't need to put more animation around it. It's of course no Pixar level. It's of course no perfection with motion. But if you want to convey a story, sometimes an animation style like this can carry you a long way. And there are some amazing people, for example, on Newgrounds.com, who made like amazing TV series with or like stuff that feels like a TV series from the scope with such simple styles.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
If I would improve something, I would probably, give the body language a little more meaning. Like, instead of like just moving the body every now and then, really tie it to specific words. I figured you wanted in. Like, really have moments where you decide, like, now I go forward, now I go backwards. And the last one.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Okay. This is pretty interesting because here we have one that is not quite perfection yet with the how the motion is executed, but it has the things where I say like, okay, decide when to lean forward, decide when to lean backwards, and that already makes it feel a lot better than it maybe actually is in the finer, in the refinement. It's really difficult to find words after how long are we going? 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of getting difficult to talk, but yeah, I do like that he's moving forward. I wonder if, you know, instead of this little flash of the hand coming up, I think the hand should just come back. Just come back the way it came. Or go all the way up when he says...
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
Yeah, when he says you could come, then the hand could come up and stay up. But, you know, I think you need to do one or the other.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean...
I like her shifts. Back, forward. Maybe keep him back there. Keep him here for this pose a little longer so it is really readable, really seen. Like that. Oh, and this little arm rub. Yeah, nice. Stuff like this can really, and the fingers here, can really make a difference. That's a pretty good one too. Okay. Dragon Skunk says, never seeing them both in the same scene gives them a disattachment. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see where they are in the room. So yeah, you should do some over-the-shoulder thing or establishing thing. So they're like big in empty space. It's sometimes really difficult to judge these without judging, you know, I think it's difficult to judge just the animation. You always, if you have a nice surrounding, if you have nice camera angles, that makes a huge difference. And it is part of animation too, to do these right. Okay, that was the last one. Next animation, please. I think it gives us an overview of all the ones that we have voted, and we have a lot of tens here. Oh, it's showing it in order. It's showing the 9s and then the 8s and the 7s. That's pretty nice. Okay, but yeah, because we already went on for 3 hours, I'm not gonna look into them again. One thing that I actually did prepare, maybe we can look at that real quick. I downloaded the scene from Stranger Things. Usually this is something that I wouldn't recommend doing necessarily, or at least not too early. When you do an 11-second club sound, I think it's best to just brainstorm what it could be and come up with some crazy ideas and new context and you know, something fun and something crazy that goes away from the original. If you look at the original too early, it can distract you and it can limit your thinking, and you will just then copy the original, which is also not good. But then again, of course, we are emulating reality, and to do that we need to look at reality. And yeah, just after having seen all these animations, let's just have a look at the original. And I think I also show you how the scene continues a little bit, how it ends. I hope that the copyright gods don't strike us down. And yeah, let's have a short look at it.
Our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Yeah. Totally. You'll come? Our
Okay. So what you can definitely see is that this presumptuous of you is set up for a joke. That this long quietness, that presumptuous is not what he wants to hear at all, is the resolution of the scene. And I think there's only one person who did it, or maybe two, who added like silence at the end to create a similar effect. Then what I find interesting in the original is that, let's see if I can mute this, that he is clearly like the passionate nerd. Like he doesn't realize how awkward and how not cool he is. He's just all in with his full heart and character. And he's really meaning what he's saying, but she is definitely sarcastic. Like she's like, and you can see that by how her eyebrows, like there are like brief moments where her eyebrows are pulled up very there. This is mixed in with like the serious, like, and her smile is not quite serious. It's like this little awkward thing. Like there's something underneath that smile. And here it's clearly coming through that she's just sarcastic and just playing with him and not meaning it. But he doesn't get that. He just continues. What I really love is that a lot of people stressed, we figured you want in. And in the moment want in, they do the gesture. They hit the pose. But in the original, what he's actually doing, he makes the pose before and then breaks it. We figured you went in. Let's listen to that again.
Size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
We figured you went in. Interesting, right? I'm not sure I would have thought about it. I would have thought about doing it like that. And this is the reason why we sometimes need to look at reference. As I said, it's not always good to look up the 11-second-club reference because it keeps you from the more crazy ideas. But yeah, interesting, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching this. Maybe say hi again if you are still here. I really enjoy doing this with you guys, doing this in the chat, having a little bit of interaction, of conversation here. I really enjoy that. Yeah, once again, because Animator Island is so much work, let me plug again the cool stuff that we have. We have this hour-long beginner tutorial. We have a premium tutorial, which is also an hour-long, with a bouncing ball, a cool bouncing ball rig for Blender. Currently only for $20 bucks, 20 euros or $20 depending on where you are. And then we have this awesome merch, which yeah, okay, I made it, but I do like it. And I think there's so little actual animation merch. Like you can get stuff for movies, you can get merchandise from movies, but there's so little, like, so little stuff, so little cool gear that just says, hey, I'm an animator, we are animators, let's celebrate our animation nerdiness a little together. So I don't know, if you're like me and you like having nerdy animation stuff around you, then maybe these things are worth a look. Again, you can find this by going to Animator Island and then just going to the free animation tutorial for beginners by just clicking here. And in the future, maybe I'm even gonna put it up in the menu right here for you to find. So, okay. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for watching and participating. And I'm not sure we're gonna do one every month, but we're certainly gonna do that again. And yeah, please come back, say hi on the Animator Island Twitter or Facebook. If you have an idea what we could do, I think somebody said, asked if we could do just a normal Q&A again, a live stream Q&A. We certainly can do that too at some point. So if you have any suggestions what we could do with Animator Island, just write to us. write to our Facebook, write to our Twitter, or to Ferdinand@animatorisland.com. And yeah, let's meet again and again and again and get better at animation.